Obviously, we've spoke to some of the boys, and you've seen the numbers that went down to the final last year. But I think what we need to do is concentrate very much on Treaty. We've watched them a lot this week. They're actually a good side. They're full of youth and energy, and they had a great result last week against Cove. So I'm sure they'll be bouncing into tomorrow with great confidence. We have to go and be very professional in what we're doing and how we're doing it, and hopefully we come out the right end of it. These early stages of cup competitions, there's always those banana skins, and teams lift their game while others maybe don't. And the big thing for us tomorrow is making sure that we go in with the levels of professionalism that Treaty deserve. They've been treated like that all week in our preparations and the homework that we've done on them. As I say, they've good players. They're a very hard-working, very honest team. They've got energy and legs. So it's certainly no foregone conclusion, that's for sure. And if we're going to get anything out of it, we'll certainly have to do the work. Yeah, as I say, we're under no illusions. I think if we go in with the wrong attitude and the wrong levels of professionalism, I think we'll get punished. And you've seen that last week at Sligo. We weren't on it, and when you're not on it, you get punished at any level. And I don't think tomorrow night will be any different. Yeah, I think I don't think this was a closed draw. I think they picked this one out. I think if you're going to get the finals or win finals, you got to play everybody somewhere along the line. But as I say, our big thing is concentrating on Treaty. The boys have prepared well all week again, and we now get on the bus and make our way down. Yeah, listen, but again, they're a really good bunch of boys. They make the most of these bus trips. Hard to listen to, mind you, but they do definitely make the most of them. I know my mentality in this is every single game you play for Derry City, you have to win. And whether that's a friendly, whether that's 5 sides out on the training pitch, you have to create that mentality. And that mentality is, why shouldn't we be winning everything? And when we get that mentality and we start thinking like that and training like that, and then that has to be our aim. Yeah, we were hugely disappointed with Sligo because we didn't see that performance coming. And no disrespect to Sligo in any way, shape or form. And you don't mind if teams go out and they're much better than you and they score good goals and they deserve to win the game. From our end, we didn't perform, we didn't turn up, and we conceded stupid, sloppy goals. And when you put all that into a mix, then the outcome's nothing, and that's what we got. Yeah, again, I'm not looking too far down the line. I'm looking at Treaty on Friday night, and there's no point me worrying about next rounds or competitions or European places until we get through Treaty. And as I say, our preparations has all been for tomorrow night. Our preparations has all been around Treaty, looking at what strengths they have and their strengths in their team, and looking at what areas we feel we can exploit. And that's where it'll start and that's where it'll end. Yeah, Brandon's obviously a lad that we've been tracking for a number of weeks now, and he's played at a really good level. Played in the Championship with Hull City, and played League One, played League Two. He's only 25, lots of energy. He played with Gavin and Carl Winchester before, which is slightly worrying, but again, I think the pedigree that he has and the energy that he's going to bring and the experience he's going to bring, the levels of professionalism that he's going to bring, I think will be a great one for us. Yeah, he was very, very impressive. Obviously, when we done all our football homework on him, and we then got to spend a little bit of time with him and talk to him, his energy and his desire to want to be successful really shone through. And the character references that we got on him from the different clubs, again, talked about how good a boy he was and how hard working he was. And hopefully he can come in here and we can see the best of him. Yeah, again, there was a number of clubs we spoke to, and the character references actually all added up. You go to certain places and maybe you have disagreements with managers or fallouts or whatever it may be, and you get people's personal opinions rather than opinions of players. But but as I say, every single person that we spoke to, all couldn't speak any more highly of him. I hope so. We hope to start getting minutes in the players' legs, and that would be regardless of whether it was Treaty tomorrow night or Bohemians tomorrow night. We need to start getting minutes into these guys and getting them more involved in what we're doing. That Kevin's gone, obviously. There was no disagreement with Kevin, and there was no fallout with Kevin. I spoke to him just as he was getting onto the boat, as he was leaving, and he rang me to thank us for his time here. He has two little girls who live back in Scotland, and they weren't with him, and he just wanted to go back home. And the club were very honourable in letting him do that, and it was all very, very plain sailing, and we wish Kevin the very best at Ayr.